May I say good afternoon, folks. Good evening for those leaders in Africa, and I think it is morning in Papua New Guinea and Pakistan and India. Today is the 31st of May, 2020. This is Mr. Abundance, and today we'll be looking at different ways and approach to different people when it comes to cryptocurrency, when it comes to TACC, because we have never been in this space before. It is a new space, and there's still a lot of dust in the air. And people don't know what to think, what to believe, because even though it is a young industry, many have entered and have been scammed because of lack of information, lack of transparency, lack of integrity. And so we are entering a space that if you don't know the space you are in, you will foul up like an earthworm when the rocks come tumbling down. So you have to position yourself. And the only how you're going to position yourself is to educate yourself. You cannot remain ignorant. Like this morning I said, if you are not willing to lose or to fail, do not expect to win either, because successful people know that they must fail themselves to success. The people who, when they look around for an opportunity and they cannot find it, they will create it. But they also know if they are to change the paradigm shift, they must be prepared to fail. You must be prepared to do the heavy lifting. And so when you are talking about TACC, you must have an appreciation for the industry that you're in. You cannot just get up and run and jump around with enthusiasm without information. Yes, I can tell you 10 years ago, had you invested $15, you'll be able to cash out over 106 million Eastern Caribbean currency. And I will tell you that with enthusiasm because it is a fact. What I am telling you is factual. And then you will say, but oh, I enter Bitcoin and I lose all my money. I lose all my coin. Bitcoin robbed me or have taken my coins. No. Or fraud me. Bitcoin has not fraud anyone. Bitcoin is a currency. And so today we will have a look, and it's going to be a series to debunk the myth. It's the first time in the history of mankind that ordinary men and women around the world have an opportunity to create money. You don't need the approval of government. You don't need the approval of politicians. You don't need them. May I welcome each and every one of you to the TACC Sunday session. My prayer is that we wake up out of slumber and begin to think for a moment. Begin to think, because I'm not too sure if we are a people that think. We believe that we're thinking, but we are not. We are just regurgitating. We are just pasting what we have copied from everyone around us. We just copy everything around us and paste it. And we think we are thinking. We are not. We are not. And so today, if you have the ability to imagine it, or even to think about it, this universe has the ability and the resources to deliver it fully unto you. If you have the ability to imagine it, or even to think it, this universe has the ability and the resources to deliver. May I say to you that there is no scarcity of wealth in the world. You show me the scarcity. There is no scarcity. What we have had is artificial. And so let me now dive into the meat of the matter today, because we're talking about an industry that 98% of the world is still sleeping. And that is why I said to those of you who are listening and who will listen to this video, you have no excuse anymore to remain poor or to remain ignorant. You have no excuse. This era that we are living in is the greatest era of wealth transformation that this world will ever see. In the fourth evolution, the fourth industrial evolution, I said cryptocurrency powered by blockchain technology will do it for us. And so before I go into the crux of the matter, I want you to share my screen because I am very it was very interesting, this video that I was listening to. And I mean, this man is upset. He's upset. And why is he upset? Because he's saying to us, you are at a period in the world history, because we will never get this opportunity again. I am saying to my people, whether you're white, yellow, blue, brown, pink, orange, purple, black, it's the only period in time that human beings can come together and create money. Cryptocurrency powered by blockchain technology teaches us how. We are not even inventing the wheel here. And so I would like to share this this video here. I'm sharing my screen now, and I want you to look at these people. Do you know them? Look at them carefully. Have you can you pick out any one of them here? At least you should know at least this one here. They're all congressmen and women. And I want you to listen what they are debating. Okay? So listen to them carefully. Uh-oh. It's not let me see. Let me full okay.
Change is here. Digital currencies exist. Blockchain technology is real. The world that Satoshi Nakamoto, author of the Bitcoin white paper, envisioned, and others are building, is an unstoppable force. We should not attempt to deter this innovation, and governments cannot stop this innovation, and those that have tried have already failed.
Government cannot stop. I want to replay it. I will take it from the top, because you must understand what is happening.
Change is here.
Change is here.
Digital currencies exist.
Digital currency exists.
Blockchain technology is real. The world that Satoshi Nakamoto, author of the Bitcoin white paper, envisioned, and others are building, is an unstoppable force. We should not attempt to deter this innovation, and governments cannot stop this innovation, and those that have tried have already failed.
Government cannot stop this innovation. Referring to blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, this is the greatest nation on earth that is admitting publicly that many have tried, including the greatest country on earth, the United States, to stop the technology. But as he said, they all have failed. They all have failed. Now let's look at my friend here, and he is enraged. Was this removed? One moment, let me see. Okay, let me go and dig it up somewhere here.
Money is free right now. We're the lowest interest rates in 5,000 years. What are you going to tell your grandchildren? What are you going to tell your children 20, 25 years from now? What did you do, Grandpa? What did you do, Grandma, during the greatest transformation of motherfucking wealth in the history of the world? What did you do? Other than sit on your fucking hands. What did you do to take advantage of the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of the planet? What did you do? Not a fucking thing. Money is free right now. We're the lowest interest rates in 5,000 years. What are you going to tell your grandchildren? What are you going to tell your children 20, 25 years from now?
It is very important. And I see the frustration in this gentleman's emotion, because we want politicians to tell us everything. We are looking as if they love us. Always remember that politicians look after the 1% in every country. The 1%. This man is saying to us, in 25 years from now, when your grandchildren and great-grandchildren ask you, where were you when the greatest wealth transformation was taking place in the world? Where were you? Did you not hear about cryptocurrency? Did you not, were you not invited to listen about the abundance coin? Were you not there with us? And what did you do? Are you waiting for someone to lead you into the pond and still put the water in your mouth? Are you waiting? Are you waiting for someone? So I can understand the frustration.
What did you do, Grandpa? What did you do, Grandma, during the greatest transformation of motherfucking wealth in the history of the world? What did you do? Other than sit on your fucking hands. What did you do to take advantage of the greatest transformation?
What did you do, Grandma? That is going to be said of many of us. What did we do in the era of cryptocurrency, blockchain technology? What did we do? Still looking around for a job when you have the ability to create billions of jobs, may I ask? All what we need to do is to come together, pool our resources together, and make it happen. That's it.
Well, in the history of the planet, what did you do? Not a fucking thing.
Now, I can't repeat what he said. I really can't repeat what he said, but I understand his frustration. I do understand his frustration. What did you do? That is the question it's going to ask of us. Were you there? I did an audio not too long ago asking the question, were you there? Were you there when we started TACC? When people of all race, denomination, ethnicity came together from around the world to put this coin together, were you not there? When the vision, when the mission of TACC were being expounded and what it will become, were you not there with us? When the foundation was dug and the steel and the concrete were being poured, when the first block was laid, were you not there? When they cast the foundation and the blocks begin and the foundation and the structure begin to take shape, were you not there? And what did you do? That is going to be the question. Did you not hear anything about cryptocurrency? Did you not hear in 2012 that there was a dunce by the name of Eric Finman? 11 years old. His grandmother gave him $1,000 and he invested in cryptocurrency. They're going to ask grandma, did you not hear about a dropout that didn't even have a high school diploma, but he had enough common sense to invest $1,000? And in 2019, he was the youngest millionaires, one of the youngest millionaires in America. Were you not there? And if you were, what did you do? And so let's take it from the bottom. Let's look at money, because some of you thought that we always had paper money. So let's play a short. Oh, by the way, I will leave that for another time because we are really running behind time. But first, as I said this morning, you must have a sense of where it all began. And it all began in bartering. You have your fish, you have excess, you look for someone who would like to take the excess fish for maybe yams, potatoes, milk, whatever it is. And so that is how valuables used to be traded. And then that moved from just wholesale of produce to shells, something that can be, easily transported, shells and salt. A matter of fact, one time it was even cattle, and then to precious metal. I think gold was the first universal currency to be accepted as a standard. And from there, we have the fiat money, because gold also was a challenge to carry around. And so fiat currency came into existence, this paper money. And then we have what? Electronic cards, your debit and credit card. At one time, you couldn't wire money to anybody. For you to send money overseas, you have to go to the post office. Do you remember those days? For you to send money to your friend, you have to go to the post office and buy a post office draft, a money draft, and send it. Now we have money in an electronic form. And today it's in now digital form. where countries have now accepted all over the world. And so the blue economy is a very interesting period to be in. The fourth industrial evolution of things. I made mention the other day that the first industrial revolution started out with the steam engine, the locomotives. The second, we had what? Gas, oil, powered electricity. The third, we have informatics, computers. That era created, the oil era begin to create millionaires coming into the third industrial revolution with tech and oil. The Silicon Valley people, the Yahoo, the Microsoft, the IBM, the Google, the tech industry created and the oil created our billionaires. Now we're into the fourth industrial revolution, where blockchain technology and cryptocurrency will steal the cake. There has not been since the creation of this world an easier path to become a trillionaire. Not a billionaire, but a trillionaire. I am going to repeat. When the Prime Minister, the Honorable Gaston Brown, and he know that, well, I can't say I'm not his friend, because I mean he used to be, I have hosted him already at my house, so I can't say that I don't know him. But I'm not too sure if we are friends these days, because you know I'm a person that I see things the way I say things the way I see it, and politicians don't like that. And so when the Prime Minister appointed a minister responsible for social services and the blue economy, it is the best thing that this government could have done. It's not that they had any choice, because you have people like me who are already ahead of the bill that they're now passing in our parliament. On the 27th of this month, the lower house sat on the bill. The upper house also, I understood, may have sat on that same bill, or it may be going to the house, or it has been and back. And so the abundance coin, crypto coin, is the first coin to be created in Antigua and Barbuda, in the Eastern Caribbean and the wider Caribbean. This is the first coin. I said the first private public coin under the banner of cryptocurrency. I went to the FSRC, the Financial Regulatory Service Commission. I sat with all of them over there, from the commission Ash right down to the lawyer. I spoke with all of them. And they said, Mr. Williams, we have no laws to govern cryptocurrency. So I know what I'm saying. I also told them this could be a good opportunity for you to make TACC a case study as to the standard that should come, those who will come. And so we are in an era, and by the way, tomorrow I must continue, because I cannot exhaust this in one day. And so I am setting the foundation today. And make sure you pass this audio and video to everybody. It is an opportunity where we, the people, can create money. If you remain poor after this window of opportunity would have passed, you have nobody to blame but yourself and ignorance. I am saying to you, even though you don't know what it is, at least get some coins and then learn. It was Richard Branson that says, if somebody offer you an opportunity and you don't know how to do it, take the opportunity and then go and figure it out. It's the same thing. You may not know about cryptocurrency. You have heard about it. Hold some coins and then go and do your research. And especially now that the abundance coin is now offering for 25 cents. You can now get 4 coins for $1. If you had 4 Bitcoin today, 4 Bitcoin, you would have had at least nearly 40,000 US dollars. But Bitcoin has passed all of us. It came out in 2009. All the banks call it a fake. All the government call it a fake. Today, they're now recognizing it. And so when the Prime Minister speaks about the blue economy, if we understand what he is doing, and the laws are really fair and friendly towards cryptocurrency, Antigua will put out more millionaires than this world has ever seen. If he does it right. If he does it right, we can transform Antigua into little Switzerland, because it is the easiest way to create millionaires. In the 4th evolution of the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, robotics, that is where we are. Blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, that is where we are today. And so, however, with all the excitement, you must have information. So when people ask you, what is cryptocurrency? How can I get involved? Oh, cryptocurrency scam me. Oh, this, you need to have information. All right, so let me go quickly. Now, I mentioned just now that Bitcoin in 2010 worth 0.003 of a cent. Today is over 9,000. And so if you and I had bought $15, only $15 worth 10 years ago, and I have always asked this question, tell me, what could you have invested? What stocks? What business? Name the business that you could have invested 40 Eastern Caribbean dollars, 9,000 CFA franc, 5,000 naira. And today, in Nigeria, cash out over 18,294,000 naira. You tell me in Antigua and Barbuda and in the OECS islands, what you could have invested $40 in 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I mean, you go to bed and wake up, and it is 10 years. And the next 10 years will come, and all of us will basically look the same. Because young people nowadays are not looking old. It's as if the older we get, the younger we look. So we will be around to see the effects of cryptocurrency. And some will have skyscrapers with 100 offices, 100 floors going up, while some of us don't even have a pole to piss in. And you know why? It's not about prayer. It has nothing to do with prayer. You can pray until your knees split, and you do nothing, you will remain a pauper and a beggar. Has nothing to do how religious and how self-righteous you might think you are. Show up to church every day, on Saturday, but still disturbing your neighbor. You go to church every day, morning and night, but you still disturb your neighbor. So what it is, it's doing something. It's using your brain and do something. And so 10 years ago, this is what $15 looked like in cryptocurrency, in the blue economy to which the Prime Minister is now talking about. $500 would have given you 500 US investment 10 years ago in cryptocurrency, a coin that has no directors, a coin that has no management structure, a coin that goes to the east if the wind blows it there, then goes to the west when the wind blows it there, goes to the north when the wind blows it there, goes to the south as the wind take it. This is what we call Bitcoin. No structure, no management, no leadership, no social program, has no television, no radio station promoting it. Has no executive team in no country. All what I'm saying to you, TACC has. The Abundance Community coin has everything I have just mentioned. I said, and listen to them carefully, Bitcoin has no leadership. Bitcoin has no management team. It has no advisors. It has no directors. It has no social program. It cannot speak to our story. It has no mission to buy back the debts, to pay to China, to settle the Afro-Caribbean debts to China. No, it has not such a mission. But TACC has. And so $500 10 years ago in an unknown coin, if you were in the Francophone countries in Africa, Cameroon, Togo, Mali, Burkina Faso, you'll be able to, Gabon, you'll be able to cash out 914 billion. I said an investment of 500 US dollars, 914 billion, 696,341,210 CFA. In Antigua, $500, 1,003 EC, I'll be able to cash out 116 million US dollars. 116 million 133. And so how do you translate that into action? How do you get momentum, Mr. Abundant? How can we promote TACC? As I said this morning, the coin is the last thing you speak about, especially with persons that do not know what is cryptocurrency. In TACC have so much meat on the bone that you can afford to dice and slice and still get meat. Understand our vision to address inequality, to open up economic channels from Africa to the diaspora, to eliminate poverty and to create abundance, to ensure that each child has a TACC, each youth has a TACC, our program of our charitable program, looking after our orphanage, the seniors among us, those that have been led to live below human standard. We have come together from across continent, recognizing that we have been given artificial scarcity, and we said we're going to do something about it. And we came together, pool our resources. Some give $1, some invest $10, some invest $5, some invest 100, some invest 500, some 1,000, some 5,000, some 8,000. And here we are today, still ahead of the industry, still ahead of 95% of human beings and businesses in the world. We are ahead. And how can we stay ahead? And so you're now invited to join with your brothers and sisters from across the world, from every planet, conscious people, black, yellow, blue, or white, long hair, straight hair, nappy hair, golden hair, blonde hair, black hair, brown hair. And we are investing in the Afro-Caribbean TACC Rollback Malaria Program to once and for all bury malaria. And as you invest in this program, you will be awarded with TACC coins that has a better chance of appreciating in value even than Bitcoin today, which is the first cryptocurrency that today stands at 9,000 US dollars. That is what you get. And so we have also decided, the sons and daughters of Africa has also decided, and conscious people from around the world has decided that we will settle the Afro-Caribbean debt, the Afro-Caribbean debts to China. We, the TACCians, have already set aside 100 million coins. And as those coins appreciate in value, when the value becomes at 4,005, we'll be able to pay off every debt that Africa owes and the Caribbean. When the coin appreciate to 4,005 based on the allocation of 100 million, those coins will now be 450 billion. That's what we're talking about. And when the coins are at 4,005, they're also at 4,005 for you. And what do you need to do? What do we then need to do, Mr. Abundance, to be able to see this coin appreciate to 4,005? First, we're certifying the coins into the market right now. You are the visionaries. And so you're invited to partner with us to certify the coins into the market by raising the 2.5. The 2.5 will address our social programs, the Afro-Caribbean International Musical, Cultural, and Trade Festival that will be held in Nigeria. We plan to invite government officials. We plan to invite civil society, NGOs, traditional investors. And by doing that, we are also giving them a crystal picture as to what cryptocurrency can do. The whole intent is for these business owners, institutional investors, and banks and government to buy and hold TACC as their digital foreign currency, with the understanding that TACC will appreciate in value. But for us to make that great impact, we need to understand the vision, and we need to hold the coins now is at its cheapest. The first round of sale in TACC will end on the 13th. The coin will move from 25 cents to 50 cents, 100% increase. Where do you put your money? And in a matter of months or weeks, you get 100% increase. I want you guys to understand the era that we're in. It's an era, it's an era, it's an era that if you know how to work this wealth transformational period, your children will bless you for generation. And so understand TACC's mission and vision, our slogan, one TACC, one child, one youth, one TACC. Think big. Our philosophy, together we can, and together we must. And so how you can take part in this greatest era of wealth transformation, you need to join us. Get to somebody that is in TACC. This is our website. You can go theabundancecoin.com. Go back to the person that invites you. It's 13 days before we finish the first round of 25 cents. This is a coin, and this is a coin that has been registered, incorporated in the Caribbean and in Africa. It is a coin that was created by a group of ordinary but progressive set of minds that look around at our condition, and we have said we have to bury what we have been given. We look around and we say to ourselves, we will not pass on to the next generation this artificial scarcity, lack, and diseases that were designed for us. And how are we going to do it? And how we did it so far? We decided to bury greed. We decided to bury selfishness. And we decided to bury ignorance. Ignorance. And we pool our 2 cents together. And today, the coin is alive and well. And we are now doing the second certification, because it is one thing, a matter of fact, you have a lot of coins that has no registration anywhere, but they're public. But we want to make sure that our foundation is solid. We want to make sure that when banks like JP Morgan Chase was the biggest critic against Bitcoin. Here it is today. Bitcoin biggest enemy, the largest bank in the United States, JP Morgan Chase. They all took an about turn because they cannot kill cryptocurrency. They tried. And so today we have JP Morgan Chase, the largest US bank by assets, has been waging war waging a war of words with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for years. The Bitcoin price has swung widely since JP Morgan chief executive Jamie Dimon called Bitcoin a fraud in September 2017, rising to around 20,000. Can you imagine? Bitcoin rose in 2017 to nearly 20,000 US. A coin that nobody knew, with a pseudonym by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, JP Morgan turbulent relationship with Bitcoin appears to be what? Rapidly softening. After the bank added its first crypto exchange customers, and Diamond reportedly hosts secret meetings with the boss of major Bitcoin and crypto exchange, Coinbase. For those of you who may not know, this is how the elites play the game. They said something is fake because they don't want you, the poor people, to get involved. The largest bank by assets in America is now holding secret meetings behind doors, partnering with exchange. Coinbase in America now, and you want to buy cryptocurrency, you can. You open a Coinbase account, attach the account to your bank account, attach that crypto wallet, Coinbase wallet, or CoinMama, or Wirex. You can attach your wallet now to your bank account, and you can buy Bitcoin. 4 years ago, you could not. And that is why I am saying to us, don't be fooled. You don't need to wait until your government says you can buy cryptocurrency, because they will not tell you. Because they know, if you understand that the game has been shifted, the rules of the game has been shifted in our favor. But ignorance, because of the way you were conditioned, you will not see it. You will not see it, and you will not understand it, because you have been conditioned by the media. You have been conditioned by the politician. It's just like politicians, you know. You see them on stage, especially in Antigua, UPP and ALP. They will curse each other. But after all them cursing, you call it, one calling the other. They are not enemies, but then we remain enemies while they are hitting glasses. And that is how the world has been fooled. They have fooled us. But we have a chance to turn all that around. So here you are, JP Morgan. As I said, today I will not be able to finish it all. And so this week I will be talking about how can you present TACC. I'm almost in an hour. Yes, Ito Nelson, welcome. Denver Goodman, I haven't heard from you for a long time. I was going to call you this morning. Greetings from the USVI. Stephen, over there in Ghana. Burundi, Bernard out of Burundi. Welcome. Mamoto D. G. Musala. Out of where you from now? Oh my goodness. I think you are in is it Namibia? No, in Lesotho. How dare can I? A matter of fact, it looked like Lesotho might be my first country in Africa, based on preparation. I always thought it's going to be Nigeria, but it may not be, because I don't know if they have handled the COVID-19 plus visa requirement. You know, there's a lot of countries in Africa that I don't really need a visa, but for some reason I need one for Nigeria. And so Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi, there's a lot of countries that I don't need a visa. TJ, yes. Good evening, yes, good evening, good evening, good evening, house. Hello, house, glad to be here. You're welcome, Mary. Good evening, our ambassador over there. Good evening, Mr. Blessing. Good evening. Hello, Mr. Abundance. So glad you have made yourself available for God to use you to liberate poverty from Africa and the world at large. Together we can. I like the way he said, together we can. Because we must understand that God will not, the infinite will not come from heaven to stand up and say, you know what? Go into Chase Bank, go into UBA Bank, go into Bank of Canada, give you the keys, go in and take your money, and then you no, he's not a thief. He is not a thief. And so he gave all of us common sense. And that is what we need to use. Poverty is not a problem. Poverty is a lack of ideas and creativity. We proved that when we started out the abundance coin. We started out with zero. We started out with zero. And because Mr. Abundance was prepared for the opportunity, our problem is we wait for an opportunity to be prepared. But I always learned that it is better to be prepared for an opportunity without having it than to be given an opportunity to which you're not prepared for. Because a good opportunity, an excellent opportunity, can only make the unprepared appear ridiculous. And that is what is happening to most of our leaders, especially those that are governing black countries. They were not prepared. And so they now appeared ridiculous when dealing with China. They are selling us back hook, line, and sinker into slavery because of their greed and desperate position. They failed to empower their people. They failed to give their people equal concession that other countries have given to their people. What they have done, they have made us carriers of wood, hewers of wood and carriers of water. That is what they have made our black leaders, and now they're selling us back. They're selling us to China as if slavery by the Europeans were not hard and long enough. We cross the Red Sea physically out of Egypt, but they want to return us back to Asia. And so together we will, and together we can. Lesika Mbatina. I told it, I must recognize Madam Gift for your inspiration. All of us have your flyers. I asked you today to send me your bio because TACC Management must recognize you at another level because you have demonstrated your consistency. You have demonstrated that not having a leadership role, you have affect all of us. And so the leadership of TACC must position you as one of our directors, so that because you have earned it, you have earned your stake in the community. And it's one thing with Mr. Abundance. I know talent when I see it. I know talent when I see it. And so I am now trying to create a position that is worthy of your talent. Because at the end of the day, we must recognize people when they have gone above and beyond the call of duty to effect our global mission. I don't know which theation has not carrying those banners, because even my profile, WhatsApp profile, oh, I love that car with TACC. And that's what you call calling those things forth as though they were. Calling those things forth as though they were. And so I appreciate you down there in South Africa under your leadership. South Africa, if it is one country that is pulling their weight. Yes, greetings, 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 greetings. And we're winding up to the hour. Right place, right time. Yes, right place, right time. Fred, good evening, family. Good evening, good evening. That's Caxton, our deputy executive over there in Kenya. Good evening, Cynthia Brown, our deputy executive in the Bahamas. Good evening, King Montana. Greetings, house. Greetings, greetings. Star, you're welcome. King Montana, yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Greetings from Namibia to you, Mr. Abundance. Thank you for trying your best to help your fellow community men rise from poverty to independence. That is what we have to do. Your government do not have, may I say, the moral capacity to effect a better life for its citizen. They have failed all of us, all because of greed, all because of the next election, all because of the greed for power. And we are so inept, we are so narrow-minded that if you create a program, you are the government now, you create a program that is good for everybody. Now, if by some reason you did not succeed in the next election, I will now come behind and I will wipe the slate, the slate clean. I don't want to have nothing to do with your policies, whether good or bad. How can we build? And that is how we are as a people of color. That is why we can never pass generational wealth to none of our children, because we can't think no further from our eyes. We can't see no further from our eyes to our nose. And thank you very much. Helena, that's our director down there in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Listen to me. The next time I am here, please, you need to identify your country so that I can know the countries that are being represented. I think it's only fair for Mr. Abundant. I know all my executives. I know where they're from. Madam Helen, she's our national executive down there, and our global brand ambassador from the Democratic Republic of Congo. That this is Madam Helen. I know that. The others I don't know. Some of you I don't know. All right. She is our executive director out of Namibia. I know that. I do not want Namibia to regret after this era Nor that I want the global community to regret at all. TACC is our solution. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, and thank you for all this effort. Thank you very much. Victoria, good evening. Chrissy, good evening. Yes, good evening, house. Okay, let me rush. We're over. We're exactly one. Sounds brilliant. Thank you. Learning for the future investment. I like that. This is our regional executive director, Miss Nosofo Kwebe. And that's where all the fire now is coming from. Southern Africa is on fire. Good evening, Mr. Abundant, Global Committee of the Action. TACC is our vehicle from poverty, artificial scarcity, generational curses and diseases to the abundant life and the fears of life. Thank you very much, my dear leader. You have done well. Christopher, well done. Well done to you, sir. Johnny the Bank, oh, I love that name. Greetings to the house. Abundance is my name. The bank. Blessing, Mr. Blessings. Again, Gamma is 101. Great job, Mr. Abundance. Keep it up. You're welcome. Prince Marketing. Every time I see this photo, please forgive me for laughing. But that is Prosperous Prince there, who want me to take a ride in that aeroplane. And who you think is going to be the pilot? Himself. Have mercy. Good evening, house. I'm happy to be here in the UK and around the world, seeing the vision. Yes, Mr. Prince, he is our executive director over there in the UK. Here is Reverend Bishop Emma out of Ghana, our national executive leader over there in Ghana. Let me tell you, the house is being represented. I can tell you the house is being represented. Oh, and here we have our executive coordinator out there in the Bahamas, Mr. Taylor, and our director of business and marketing. Good evening, Mr. Abundance from Chris. Yes, good evening. TACC will put all African leaders into shock. How we came together to pay their debt. I like that. TACC will put Africa leaders into shock. And you're so right. I claim that. We have to do it. We don't have a choice. I said it's for this reason this generation was born. It's for this reason that your mother did not have a stillbirth. It's for this reason you're still above the ground and not under. Because there are too many of us have gone under undiscovered. There are too many of us that we came and we went and no one knew who we were. Not even us discover our own self. We were not born just to live, pay bills, catch hell, and die. No. All of us are here because there is a problem that only you alone can solve. Will you then look within yourself and ask yourself, am I living my purpose? Is there anything that is missing? Have I maxed out my potential? Have I accomplished those things to which I set out to do? Am I going uphill? Am I conquering a new mountain? Or am I sliding down an old one? I want to thank all of you who have joined us, and we will continue tomorrow. Now I set the foundation today. Tomorrow I will be dealing how we can pitch TACC, the different ways we can pitch TACC, based on who you're pitching and some ideas as to how we can, target people, get people in a group, spread it far and wide. Spread the information far and wide. Let not they say, oh, you kept the information from me. All right. So thank you. Enjoy your evening.